This April, millions of people around the world will gather their children and will paint eggs, eat chocolate rabbits, hunt for them as part of their Christian Easter Sunday tradition. In fact, these traditions have nothing to do with the crucifixion, death, or resurrection of Jesus Christ or the church at all. Travel with me, Kristan T. Harris, as we search for the truth behind the history, the traditions, and the practices behind Easter. Download the very free American Intelligence Report podcast app to get our daily show from Monday through Friday, free to your cell phone or tablet. When I started doing my research into the history of Easter and its traditions, I noticed a pattern, and evidence suggests that majority of the traditions stem around this individual and very powerful ruler from Babylon named Semiramis. So the first question we need to ask is, who is Semiramis and why was she so important? Semiramis was most well known for giving birth to the wicked ruler Nimrod. Nimrod was known for creating the first global government and uniting all nations. He becomes a very important figure in this story because of much symbolism being geared around his name. He is also considered the founder of the craft of Freemasonry based on Albert Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. Nimrod was the first king to wear a crown to represent the sun because the king illuminates those around him. Remember this symbolism. How did he receive this crown and the symbol of the sun? Well, he incestuously married his mother, Semiramis, and received what they called the all-seeing eye, or the eye on the back of your dollar bill. Since the Babylonian Empire spread across the world, Semiramis went by many names throughout history. Some of these names include Isis from Egypt, Hertha from Germany, Devaki from India, Cybele from Asia, Fortuna from Rome, Xing Mu from China, Columbia, Venus, Minerva, Athena, Frigga, and Diza are just a few of these names. Also related to the conversation is Semiramis went by many names, but one of them was Columbia, as in the District of Columbia, the capital of the United States. And not only that, in military documents, it says that the Statue of Liberty represents Semiramis. In biblical terms, she's known as the Whore of Babylon. So literally, we have the Whore of Babylon greeting individuals into our country here in America. So let's take a look at the origins of the Easter traditions and symbolisms we've all learned to love and celebrate. When we take a look at the most prominent symbols of our spring and Easter, the rabbit and the egg, we have to ask, where did these come from? When you research the origins of both the rabbit and the egg, you'll be led to the story of the Babylonian goddess Semiramis. Legend has it that after Semiramis died, she ascended into heaven and was returned to earth inside of a large egg which fell into the Euphrates River. The egg was pushed ashore by a dove, and she emerged from the egg as Astarte, or Ishtar, or Easter in English. She's also known as the moon goddess, as in the lady on the moon. Maybe you've seen on Miller High Life products. In fact, this is where the name Monday or Moon Day originates from, the day you worship the moon goddess Semiramis. Semiramis, to show her gratitude to the dove, turned it into an egg-laying rabbit. And when we take a look at these are all signs of fertility. Another sign of fertility from Babylonia is the obelisk. The obelisk represents the phallus of Osiris or of that of Nimrod. It was said that when Nimrod died, his body was ripped into 14 parts, but his phallus was delivered to Semiramis, who reanimated the phallus and brought forth an immaculate conception of Tammuz. Nimrod reborn, and she commanded that the people worship the sun in the memory of the mighty ruler. And hence, this is the origins of Sunday, the day you worship the sun or the Son of God. Notice that there are similarities between this story and that of Osiris and Isis and Horus. In fact, the truth is that this time of year is not when Jesus Christ had died at all. What we are truly celebrating is the spring equinox of the old sun worshippers, when the sun once again rose from the depths of winter, when the goddess Ishtar, fertilized by the rain of March, began to bring forth the fruit of spring and harvest. The sun would eventually die and bring winter once again upon the world. Even in May, the phallic symbol or the obelisk, or the reminder of the reproductive male organ, is used when young girls dance around the maypole, a fertility ritual. The truth is, none of these rituals have anything to do with Christianity or the church. So we have to ask, how did this happen? In the early days of Christianity, Rome found itself threatened by this new religion, and not wanting to give up the pagan gods and rites, Constantine figured out a way to combine the two in order to preserve the Roman Empire and to bring the Christians under the authority of the emperor and make everyone happy. Symbolism in this aspect goes deep and far back. This is also why Christians go to church on Sunday instead of on the Sabbath on Saturday, as well as why the church allows idols and symbols within the confines of their own places of worship. Constantine was in fact a sun worshiper and was able to combine the two religions and develop some form of perversion of the Christian religion, disguised as the Son of God, S-U-N, instead of the Son of God, S-O-N. It ties into the zodiac signs and the path the sun travels through them. It is said that God's Son started his ministry at 30 and died at 33, as in Jesus Christ. It is also said that the sun in the sky travels through each zodiac sign at the 30th degree, and next it's at the 33rd degree. This is also why no Freemason is allowed to rise higher than the 33rd degree, because no one can rise higher than God's sun. The sun will rise through the zodiac signs, and at some point, Scorpio will kiss the sun, and the sun will be betrayed and hang on the cross for 3 days, dying, and then move and bring forth life of spring. When a man is stung by a scorpion, it is said that it puffs up like a giant pair of lips, or it is also known as the kiss of death. The story goes that Judas was paid 30 silver pieces, or 30 silver moons, and betrayed Jesus, or the Son of God. This story will be told over and over again for many years to come. Let's not forget probably the biggest disappointment of Easter, the Easter Bunny, the figure your children will learn to love and will be traumatized by when they learn that mom and dad can lie, and develop distrust between the relationship of them and their children, whose hearts are broken because one of their favorite figures in history, an imaginary rabbit, was not real. Does this remind you of any other holiday figure we know? Know the traditions which you follow, know the origins in which they come from, and why it is important that you partake in them or not to partake in them at all. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the American Intelligence Report's Esoteric Journal with Kristan T. Harris. Don't forget to download our very free Google Play and iTunes app in the Droid and iTunes App Store and subscribe to our YouTube channel today.
Is that who I think it is?
Yep, sure is. Did you hear he ditched the man cave and brought back the study?
That's so sexy. I love it when a man is educated and informed.
He is so dreamy. Always reading books and investigating history.
Where do you think he works out?
The library.
He is so controversial, always talking about 9/11 being an inside job, the police state, constitutional rights, ancient history, government cover-ups, and how he thinks sports don't matter in real life.
Oh, I love a freethinker who searches for truth. I tune into his show, The American Intelligence Report, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Truth Frequency Radio. I love it when he feeds my brain. What's his name? Kristan T. Harris.